Hey, hey, first time live on my own page. I've done it like in other people's groups and stuff. So, first time here. I'm sitting in a parking lot because I'm super early to an appointment that I have. And so I think McDonald's Diet Coke is really good. So, I'm going to get a McDonald's Diet Coke and set up camp in a McDonald's for like an hour. Yes, I go places really early to ensure I do not have to sit in traffic. Because that, for me, that feels easier and that makes me feel happy, and that's why I do that. And then I don't feel rushed. It's awesome. So I posted an article an article on my Facebook page about this concept of radical acceptance, and it was a woman talking about her daughter. I think I maybe assumed it was a woman, but talking about her daughter who has had some issues and her radical acceptance of her daughter rather than hoping her daughter would be somebody different. And I really loved this. I really loved that idea. She talked about a community in Denmark that houses mentally ill people. And hey, Gary DiFilippo, that houses mentally ill people and how they just like accepted them as they are rather than trying to make them be different. But yes, there's therapy still and there's things helping to move and progress, but while accepting them as they are. And I was thinking about how beautiful that is, especially with children, to accept them as they are and let them be their own person rather than forcing our own like limiting beliefs on them, right? So letting them be who they're going to be rather than having the attachment of who we want them to be. I think that's really awesome. And I was thinking that this is something that I feel like I have gotten so much better at over the last especially 5 years. I think when I was younger, I really wanted people to be how I wanted them to be. And I really wanted them to, I saw it as good, and that was a good way to be. So that's why I wanted them to be that way. But I could see how that was pushing people away from me, not bringing them towards me. I feel like a big start with that was like a radical acceptance of the relationships as they were, the relationships that I had as they were, and not trying to make them something different or forcing them into being something different. And I feel like I also had a radical acceptance of myself. So just like, yeah, I'm not perfect, and I'm going to stop trying to pretend that I have things together that I don't have together. And an acceptance of myself was really helpful in that, being able to accept other people. Another thing, giant helpful, is Jimmy, who is awesome, because I can say to him, we can have conversations. It's like, Kate, I get that you're doing all these things for me and that's really nice and it's very kind, but that's not actually what my need is, right? So and then I'm like, there's things that I'm doing for him because I think it's what he wants. And he's like, no, that's not actually meeting what my need is. Like, what I actually want is for blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like the classic, like, men and women, like, I'm talking to him, I have a problem and he wants to fix it. And I'm like, no, I'm not looking for somebody to fix it. I just want to be seen and heard. I just want you to hear what I'm saying. My actual need is for you to see me and hear me. My need isn't for you to fix it, because at the end of this, I might be over it and I'm probably gonna have a solution to my problem. I don't need a solution. And if that's what I want, then I will tell you that's what I want. And I know that was really difficult for him to let go of, but that's one way that we can accept each other. And he can accept that I'm going to tell him when I need help, and he can believe that I'll do that, because when I do that. I said do. Okay. And then I was thinking about how I've done that with all of my friends that other relationships. You just let people be who they're going to be rather than trying to force them in a box I created. They want to be in their own. They want to be their own person and seen and heard as they are. And they don't want to be shoved into a box I created, because I don't want to be shoved into something that they created. So it makes sense, right? I just want to be able to be me, whatever that means today. I feel like this is a skill I have developed, and I feel like it's one reason that I'm really good at my job and my business, is because I can see people as they are and not like a template. I see people and hear what they're telling me. So what might feel really easy to me, to someone else will be like, that sounds like my idea of hell. Where what feels like really easy and flow and fun to them for me might be like, no, thank you. So it's not like it's like this template of life that means that you're not overwhelmed and it's ease. It's not a template. It's not anything like that. It's very personal and it's going to feel different for everybody. And even just what ease and flow feels like for one person might feel different for me or for another person. So an example of this that I realized the other day was one of my friends is having a hard day. And so I really wanted to help her, right? I really wanted to help her and I wanted to be a support to her. And I was trying to think of things I could do, like, okay, how can I help her? Because I want to be of service to her because I love her. So instead of coming up with something, because we're not like close enough that I intuitively know what she needs. We're not to that point in our relationship, although I do have a genuine love for her already. So I just text her and I said, here's the deal. I know that like you are having a rough like week or couple weeks or whatever's going on, and I really want to support you, but I do not know how to best do that. Right? So then rather forcing her or like thinking what I would want is this, so I'm going to do all of these things for her. Right? Which is what we used to do with like the golden rule, right? Is like do unto others as you'd have do unto you. So you're doing all these things, but she might be like, that's annoying. Like what I want in that type of moment might be like really triggering her. So just ask her, how can I support you? Because I want to support you the way that you need it and the way that's going to be beneficial for you. I would love for you to tell me what that is. And she actually called me and she told me, I don't know. But she also said, if I come up with something, I promise I will tell you. And I believe her, right? So then I told her, these are some ideas I had that of how I could support you. How do you feel about that? And she was like, yeah, that would be cool. That would be great. And I'm like, okay. And if that ever gets annoying or you want me to stop, I'm going to keep doing it until you tell me to stop. It's just a deal. Okay. So it's like this, I'm not trying to force myself on her, but then there's also a trust that she is going to, tell me, because I can only do it if she tells me. I can't read minds and all of that. So I just challenge everybody to notice that today. Maybe notice the parts of your life where you're like forcing your own values and what you think is important on other people, which is different from some people. Times people really, really well, and you can call them out and be like, I don't know if this really matches your value. Is this something you feel like you should do? It's because it's not really jiving with really what your personality and when the past what you've told me. But then if they're like, no, this is so what I want to do, then you just let it go, because we're just doing acceptance, right? Because let's just let people be who they want to be. And sometimes though, you might see the good in them and the potential of them before they can see it in themselves, but there's lessons they need to learn to get there. So all you can share is what you can share. And also something that I had to let go of. It's not my responsibility. Like it's their life is their responsibility. It has nothing to do with me. Okay. All I can do is that unconditional love and give the support that I say I'm going to give, that I agree I am able to give. And that's all I can do. So that's what I want to talk about. It takes a lot of pressure off. It takes a lot of pressure off to not have to like solve everybody's problems and to do all of these things for them. It takes a lot of pressure off of your shoulders that it's not your job. So you just need to show up as you and provide the support that is going to benefit them. And sometimes what they ask for is way easy, and it's way easier than what I was going to do. So badass, right? So anyway, I first Facebook Live, Radical Acceptance. Go me. Yeah, nailed it. Thanks, guys.